How long have you been able to do this?
Nina in her office?
Yes, Mr. King. Get the same spread like 2 years ago. I want something for, I don't know, you go to Brooklyn and you check out the... I need to get back to you. All right. Hey, Madison, I was on a call. I'm sorry. I tried to explain. Just close the door on your way out, please. Thank you.
You don't have to pick on your assistant. I didn't really give her a chance to announce me. I just came by to see what you're up to.
Good afternoon. What can I do for you? I'm here to see a Detective Bennett. Right here. Dex Heller. Nice to meet you. Follow me, Mr. Heller. Have a seat. Commissioner Devane asked me to interview you. I'm an instructor here at the police academy. I know. I looked you up. Did you now? Yes, sir. I like to know who I'm dealing with. So do I. So why don't we start with the obvious question then? Why do you want to become a police officer?
Thank you, Mommy. Hey, you're welcome, sweetheart. Well, this is a lot of work. It is, but it's worth it. Trust me. What's there first? All right, well, the first thing we're going to do is put the pasta sauce in here. Very thin layer.
I can do it.
You can do it? Okay. Well, how about I do this, and then you can spread it around a little bit? Yeah? Okay, what can I do? You can check the noodles and make sure they're not too hot for her. Check them out. Touch them. Just don't pick them up, please.
We don't want you to tear them.
You know, I might be insulted by that if I didn't know that you guys were right. We're lucky she's so happy today.
I'm so happy, Mommy.
Why wouldn't I be happy? I'm with my girls. And my best friend is back.
She's so right.
Thank you. Coming by. Please. Thank you for getting yourself a phone. I had to wrangle with your lawyer for a good 15 minutes before she would relay that message to you.
Yeah, Diana's very cautious.
Yeah, I don't blame her. She has you as a client. I saw Dante. He's awake. It's a relief. And you're exonerated.
It's a relief for me, too.
Even though you're no longer facing capital murder charges, you're still in a great deal of trouble. And I've been giving your situation some thought.
Okay.
I think you and I have mutual goals.
Maybe.
Probably not tonight, but soon.
I want to meet him.
Oh, honey, you know him. You just don't remember him.
Do you think he'll remember me?
I know he'll remember you. I do. He's going to be so amazed at how much you've grown. So I have information from another source that Sonny was doing business with Pikeman and then he suddenly stopped. Which could be why he was being targeted. So what can you tell me about Pikeman's internal organization and their areas of involvement?
Nothing.
Why not? Because I already know that you were part of it.
Anna. I can't.
Because of Agent Gates. He's on his way over. Yes, send him in. Make the double. Hi. Oh, thank you. Come on in, Agent Gates. Thank you for coming. You already know Mr. Morgan.
I'm serving in the Army. On 2 tours in Afghanistan, Bagram, and Kandahar. Germany. You were discharged for assaulting a superior officer.
Yes, sir, but I can explain.
It wasn't a dishonorable discharge, so I'm guessing there's some level of provocation. Still, it's a blemish on your record just the same. What'd you do after you got out?
I work private security.
I see that on the application, but I don't see any names or references.
They were private clients, high profile, rich. I signed non-disclosure agreements.
Legitimate?
Yes, sir. Corporate heads, politicians, Silicon Valley guys.
What about your last employer? Corinthos Coffee? It's not included on the application. Why is that? You not consider that employer legitimate?
Technically, yes. In reality, no. Auntie, I didn't know you were here.
Obviously.
Where were you?
I was in the kitchen, dropping off a coconut cake for Trina. It's her favorite.
Right.
Now that you know about me, what about you?
Well, you know, I have taken a few steps lately, so yeah, I know I need a lot more practice.
This is great. Why on earth are you keeping this from your family? Especially your wife.
I've had my hands full with the fall issue, pulling Crimson back from the brink. You know, Carly did huge damage.
The only damage that was done during Carly's tenure was by you, Nina. You literally ripped out walls to try to sabotage that first issue, but you went out on time. All your major advertisers and designers and collaborators, they all stayed. There wasn't a dip in sales or circulation. In fact, there was a little bit of a bump because people were kind of curious to see what Carly would do.
Well, if things are so wonderful, Drew, then by all means, bring Carly back and I'll just walk.
You're not going anywhere, Nina. You're just a rich, spoiled brat, and although you can't find true love or even a functional relationship, you do have everything that money can buy. Except for this. This magazine is mine. And you want it. You need it.
And you need me. Because Carly is long gone. Hey! Wait a minute. There's supposed to be 4 of you.
Mommy and Amelia aren't here.
What?
April Fools.
It's the Amelia Phil. On the drive over, so Willow. Oh, so we're having lasagna?
Justin, I need it.
Me too.
Want some help?
A little bit.
I want to help too.
Oh, well, the lasagna's already in the oven. But you guys can help me set the table.
That's not fun.
I get it. But if you guys help me, then we can play some Star Wars.
Yeah. I get to be Darth Vader.
Well, of course. All right, let's go. Careful. Okay. Before Jason turned himself in, he was with you, wasn't he?
I plan to tell all of you just when I'm better able to walk. You do understand that, don't you?
I think I do. After I had my stroke, I had to relearn things too. Not to the extent that you have, but I had to put effort into being whole again. Look at my life differently and think differently about my health. But the hardest thing for me to come to terms with wasn't just physical, it was mental. Accepting that I couldn't do everything on my own, that I too needed help. That I wasn't invulnerable.
I get it. This has motivated me more than ever. I just don't want my family to have to witness me struggle, witness my baby steps. Especially after everything that I've put everyone through. Just want to be further along.
Baby, I am beyond thrilled and proud right now. And I just want the rest of the family to be able to experience the joy that I'm having right now. We're all on this journey with you. What happens to you affects us too. Especially Portia. And you know she's been trying to stay strong, holding it down. Let her have some of this joy. Baby steps or big steps. Let her experience it with you. Keeping secrets, even if your aim is true, it can destroy a marriage.
Jason didn't say anything to me, but the Quartermain estate is a perfect place to hide. And you live at the gatehouse.
Yeah. Willow and I were helping him.
Willow?
Yeah, look, I blindsided Willow when I told her that Jason was shot and needed her help. And Mom, she stepped right up. I mean, she took care of his wounds. She made sure that he had the right medication. And Willow's the reason why Jason had such a good recovery.
Did Jason say anything about where he's been? What he's been doing?
No, not really. Just, he told me that he was picked up by somebody who has leverage over him, and they had him working as a mercenary soldier. Did he say anything to you?
Well, after the arraignment, Jason went straight to see your father. I was there. And surprise, surprise, so was Ava.
Yeah, Ava has been spending a lot of time with him these days.
Yeah, and Sonny thinks that Ava is trustworthy, but you and I are not, which gives you a pretty good idea how things went with Jason.
So obviously now Dad realizes that Jason didn't shoot Dante.
He also knows that he was an informant for the FBI.
An informant?
Yeah.
That's what Jason couldn't tell me.
And he didn't say much more than that, which infuriated your father. And Sonny called Jason a traitor. I tried to calm him down. I tried to fix things, but it didn't work. So Jason and I left.
Did Jason say anything else?
No, I mean, not really. We went to Bobby's and we sat around and talked, but he didn't say anything about where he's been or about the FBI. And there's a vacant room above Bobby's, so that's where Jason's gonna stay.
Okay, well, that's good. It's easier for him there than the Metro Quarter.
The Quartermain.
Especially there. And Mom, he's been through something.
I know, I can see it. But Jason's gonna be okay. I mean, he is. He's got a lot of people pulling for him.
Especially you, Mom. I know this has been an emotional ride. I mean, are you okay?
I haven't been this okay in a long time. I've already been kicked out of stores. Why they need to.
Say no more.
Can I do anything to help? Oh, well, I have been entrusted with the salad, so you can help me with that. You got it? Hold on. Michael told me that you really put yourself on the line to help with Jason. Thank you.
Mr. Morgan, can't imagine why you're here.
I told him to come.
Anna knows I'm working for you, I told her.
That violates the terms of our agreement.
You lied when we made our agreement. Why should I continue to honor that, Jagger? You chose not to tell me you knew me in high school. You knew my family. You knew my mother. And you engineered a scenario where I had to let her believe I was dead. What would it matter if I told you something you can't remember? It's too bad about your personal life, but you took this deal of your own volition, so don't lecture me on the consequences of being you. You couldn't find anybody else to go after Pikeman? No one with your qualifications. No one I had leverage over who dropped in my lap. I don't give a damn how you feel about this job. I only care that you get it done.
I am here to save us both some time. We could keep playing chicken. You threatened to leave me, going to HR to start a search for a new editor-in-chief, or we could take all that energy and we could focus it on the fall issue.
Oh, let's be clear here. We are not getting the fall issue out. I'm getting the fall issue out because I am the driving force behind Crimson. That's why you begged me to come back.
Oh, well, I don't beg anybody, Nina, least of all you. I came to you because there was a vacancy that I needed to fill, and I know how much you love this magazine. I thought it was a bit of a win-win. I'm open to the possibility of us working together because we both get something that we want.
Can't really be that easy for you, Drew. I mean, Jason blows back into town and suddenly there's a vacancy in Carly's bed. You're out. He's in.
It was my choice to end things with Carly.
Oh no, you got out before Carly could dump you. And you're standing here telling me that you don't want payback.
What has payback ever gotten you? And this one almost ended before it got started because of a secret. Maybe the marriages that work best are the ones where partners can share. They can lean on each other and go through the tough times together. Both you and Portia are strong enough to handle anything. And your desire to protect is admirable. But you gotta ask yourself, if you were Portia, wouldn't you want to know?
Mom!
Hi.
Would you clarify what you meant when you said technically yes, in reality no? I worked closely with Mr. Corinthos. After a period of time, it became clear his business was not one I could support. Weren't you there nearly 2 years? It took me a while to figure out how to go about it, but eventually I got out. I planned on leaving Port Charles for good, but what? But I didn't like the idea of running away. So instead I went to see Commissioner Devane. She suggested I become a cop, so here I am.
I was more afraid that I wouldn't be able to treat Jason correctly than about whatever legal jeopardy I'd be in. I was able to bandage him up and bring him antibiotics from the hospital, which lowered his risk of infection. You took a huge risk taking meds from the hospital. I won't lie. I was really nervous when the shortage showed up on the computer, but Michael called Spinelli and the shortage disappeared. Thankfully. Spinelli's a good person to know. Well, so is Jason. He helped save me from Shiloh. Michael loves him. So do you. He's important to this family. He is. But he was also a fugitive wanting for shooting a cop. And I know it wouldn't occur to Michael to not get involved, but I'm sure it occurred to you. Well, sometimes you have to put your own doubts aside and back the person you love. Michael's done that for me. It was my turn to do it for him. Well, I understand that because I know what it's like to have that special relationship. You must be relieved now that Jason's back. So will he be alright now that the charges have been dropped? I still don't understand what kind of trouble he was in or what's happened to him. I don't either. He has said very little. Really? I thought you and Jason told each other everything.
So obviously, Jason's cover is blown. He can no longer work at Pikeman as Alan Jacobs.
He can't work there, but he still has value.
How? They will have adjusted their protocols by now, and I'm sure that they reallocated any personnel that ever came in contact with him.
Maybe. But he knows too much. Pikeman's gonna want to shut him up. Jason, you're gonna stay here in Port Charles. Out in the open.
You want to use him as bait?
I want to draw Pikeman out.
I'm not going to be a walking target in my hometown, surrounded by people I care about. I'm not going to let anybody wind up as collateral damage.
Then be real careful. You know how Pikeman operates. Draw them out. I'm willing to bet they'll send someone senior to deal with you. We turn the tables, take them into custody, and incentivize them to give up whoever runs the company.
How are you going to turn the tables?
I'm sure you'll think of something. Jason, you have an impressive skill set and you're good at improvising. So what's it gonna be? Cooperate? Or we use the evidence we already have and charge Carly Spencer with RICO violations and criminal conspiracy.
Menopause.
As long as you leave Carly alone.
As long as you hold up your end, I have no use for Carly.
Alright, let's just... Why don't we clarify the objective now, please, can we?
Jason shouldn't have involved you, Anna. This is an FBI investigation. You're not part of it.
I am. We've already been over this, John. This is my jurisdiction. I want in.
The whole point of using Jason is that he's not an agent. How I use him is at my discretion. I am not going to risk a leak or open the door to some interagency turf war at this late date.
And you think any of that would apply to me? Why would it?
Oh, come on, Anna. You're WSB, and so is Pikeman.
One of the great things about Jason is that even when he can't tell me what's going on, I know I can trust him. He'll let me in when he can. There were so many times that he didn't know what I was doing, and he trusted me anyway. I didn't want to bring it up, but Drew told me that you guys broke up. Oh. Well, I didn't know that Drew was going to say something to you. Not that it's a secret or anything. It's not. I just didn't know how it would feel when people found out. How is he? You know, Drew. He puts on a game face, but I know he was hurt. I love him. I do, and I miss him, and he went through so much with me and for me, and I really wanted to return that kind of loyalty, but I didn't know Jason was gonna come out. Look, Drew is a good friend. Yeah, literally my lifesaver. I hope he can put his own life back together and find something that matters to him.
That is your problem, Nina. When things don't go your way, you focus on the wrong thing.
Right now, my problem is that I have a sanctimonious boss who barged into my office and now wants to lecture me about my
I
shortcomings.
can't believe I forgot to include victimhood complex in there. My bad. I'm sorry. I know nothing's ever your fault, right? That's how you justify your actions. When you lose something, you just go and try and take something from somebody else in return. Think about it for a second. You lost Nell. You lied to Carly, made her think that she lost Sonny. You lost Willow. You tried to send Carly to prison.
You're still defending Carly? How pathetic, Drew. The best decision you ever made was to fire Carly and reinstate me. Why are you backtracking
I'm
now?
not backtracking now, Nina. I'm not rewriting history. I've got a very clear mind on what happened, and I have a very good memory. But that's in the past. And we're trying to move forward here, right? Haven't you ever heard, living well is the best revenge?
Stella, that's a wonderful surprise. You're staying for dinner, right?
No, I just came by to leave Trina a coconut cake. I left it in the kitchen.
It's so thoughtful of you. It's your favorite. Thank you.
My
Very
pleasure.
much.
And I hope you two have a wonderful evening. Sure you have lunch with your boss.
Bye-bye. She ran out of here so fast, I didn't get a chance to tell her some good news. Dante woke up.
It is good news.
Yeah, it is.
How's he doing?
He's amazing. He's weak, but he's coherent. And Sam and Olivia, they're over the moon. I'm really happy for them. Do you remember how excited I was when you finally woke up? I mean, I felt like I hadn't taken a breath in months, and then you opened your eyes and look at you now.
I'd rather look at you.
I'd rather look at that cake. Excuse me. I have type 2 diabetes. Oh, and it didn't feel good at all to show her the door.
No, Nina, that is your petty way of thinking. To answer your question, I don't want Carly to suffer at all. I get nothing from that whatsoever. I win when I focus on myself and I build something for myself. I mean, if you could only do that, if you could only focus on your talents and what you have and get out of your own way, my God, you could probably eventually be happy.
Happy. I was happy, Drew. Happier than I've ever been in my life. But you know why? Because I had a family. My surviving daughter was back in my life. I had 2 wonderful grandchildren. I was married to a man that I loved and who loved me. A job that I was great at, too, in fact. And now what do I have? I have nothing except for Crimson, which is all I started with in the first place.
You bear no responsibility for those turn of events. Everything that you claimed Carly had to begin with.
Oh, I did not want anything from Carly. Things just happen the way they happen. And yes, I take responsibility for keeping the truth about Sonny being alive and Nixon Falls from his family. But once Sonny remembered, it was his choice, and he chose me. I didn't force him. It was Sonny's decision.
You're so big on choice, aren't you? So big on choice. What about accountability?
Do you want to talk accountability? How about Carly? She chose to buy shares of Aurora and commit a crime. But was she held accountable? No. Carly always gets a pass. She even had you take the fall for her.
After you turn us into the SEC,
Which was perfectly legal, but apparently unforgivable for me. You know, I'm exiled from the man that I love. Yeah, no, it's a great recipe. When did you learn how to cook lasagna? When did you learn how to make anything from scratch? Dex was teaching me how to cook, and he's really good at it. You miss him, huh? Trying not to. That's all I had to say. I know that I have to let it go, and overall it's just, there's that part of me that's waiting for a text or a call. What if he does text or call? I promised myself I wouldn't answer.
Started off this interview asking you why you wanted to be a cop. Aside from you saying Commissioner Devane asked you to apply and stating that you wanted to stay in town, you haven't answered the question.
Yes, the commissioner suggested I join the force. I could have refused, but I thought it over and I realized I missed that feeling I had back in the Army. Which is what? Doing something good through service. The way I see it, being a cop is like being a soldier. You go through a lot of tough stuff, but it's for a greater good, and it's about serving others. I took an oath. Serve your country and the Constitution and the military. Law enforcement officers take an oath to support and defend the Constitution and uphold the laws in their jurisdiction. Are you prepared to do that? Yes, sir. There's another thing. I liked being a part of something bigger than myself. When I was in the Army, the men and women I served with became my brothers and sisters. We were in it together and we had each other's backs. We were doing something real and important. It was hard as hell and it was challenging, but we had a purpose. We believed in a cause so strongly, we put our lives on the line for it. That gave my life meaning. To protect our way of life and our freedom was the goal. The goal in working private security and working for Sonny was to make money. And that was a stupid and ugly reason to die.
So now we get to the real reason behind your attitude towards me since you came to town. Am I part of your investigation?
There's no way to know, but we do know that Pikeman has long-standing and unhealthy ties to the WSB.
So you don't like me poking around? Is that it? You're just playing nice to keep tabs on me, to keep me in check?
I can neither confirm nor deny, but the ties between Pikeman and the WSB go back to your early days as an agent, Anna, in the 80s.
I can tell you flat out, I've never had anything to do with Pikeman. Jack Brennan, who ended his rather brief tenure as head of the WSB by being shipped off to Pentonville, he could tell you more. It's alleged that he was running both Pikeman and WSB. Unless you think that I'm the new head of Pikeman, and that by packing him off to prison I was making a big power grab.
Anything is possible, and falls within the scope of my investigation. I want Pikeman and everyone affiliated with it to go down. That's my focus.
It's mine too. But how do we do it?
Well, that is the billion-dollar question. Hopefully Jason will get us an answer.
Wait a second. Looks like I'm gonna need a little practice. I could certainly use a good coach.
Got one. Got one.
Yep.
I'd almost believe you if I hadn't personally experienced your version of payback. And I don't know, maybe you have seen the light. Maybe you're the kinder, gentler, true love. All, but I somehow doubt it.
The piece on how the wellness fitness market is booming and evolving is in your inbox.
Thank you, Madison. Thank you. I'll look at it right away. I need to go back to work.
So I heard. What's this piece about?
It's just for the next issue. It's about feeling good. It's a powerful, profitable industry. You know, fitness and well-being. They're not just trendy buzzwords.
Do me a favor, will you forward that to me? I'd like to read that.
Forwarding it right now.
Got it. Thank you. Maybe we can work together after all.
Stranger things have happened.
Here's the deal, Miss Adler. I get what you did in the military. I respect your discretion about your private clients. I don't like the gaps in your work history. But I know that world and I'm familiar with non-disclosures. What concerns me the most is your affiliation with the Corinthos organization. What you've seen, what you've done. It's because of the time that I worked for Sonny that I want this. I did things that I regret. And you think you can make up for them by becoming a cop? Because that's not how this works. The commissioner may have suggested this, but if you're thinking of it as some kind of penance, then don't do it. I told you, sir. I want a purpose in my life. I need to do better for myself.
Oh, hi. Who won the Rebels or the Empire?
We haven't finished yet.
Oh?
The Rebels will win.
How do you know that?
Because Jocelyn's playing for us and she's the best.
I play for the Empire, and I'm a pretty good pilot.
Okay, we'll see what happens. Okay, before we sit down to dinner, I just want to thank Jocelyn, Donna, and Willow for making dinner.
You help us too, Mommy.
Oh, that's really nice of you to say that. But I also want to say how much I love you very much. And how lucky we are that we have each other. And we're lucky that Dante is doing better. And we're so lucky that Jason's back. We have so much to celebrate. Lucky. Okay. You gotta grab the bread.
I know a lot about Pikeman, but I don't know who's in charge. I don't know the chain of command. But you're right. They're gonna want to shut me up.
The same way they tried to eliminate Sonny.
I don't know. They sent separate teams for Sonny. The first team was the Metro Court in Puerto Rico. I was on the third team, as you know, but their approach is not working. They definitely can try something different with me.
I regret that you have to be used as bait, Jason. That's real. But I am playing the hand I've been dealt with now. The mission remains shutting Pikeman down. Commissioner Devane.
You okay with this?
Just has to be done.
It all makes sense now. You didn't become an FBI informant to protect yourself. It was to save Carly.
She can't know.
Why?
Trong là ngày thứ 2. Nội dung báo cáo với chỗ làm việc là tình trạng sức khỏe mang thai. Hình thức đi làm mong muốn trong khi mang thai, các ngày nghỉ việc khi khánh thai. Bye bye. Và ngày dự sinh, ngày dự tính bắt đầu sinh. Tại chỗ làm việc thì sớm báo cáo việc mang thai để được để ý hỗ trợ. Những thuật ngữ chuyên môn mẹ chẳng hiểu mấy, những điều mẹ thường nghe bác sĩ nói lúc khám thai. Giai đoạn đầu thai kỳ thì mẹ thường không hiểu những từ ngữ bác sĩ nhắc đến trong thời kỳ khám thai và cảm thấy bất an. Hãy tìm hiểu một phần những thuật ngữ đó nha. của những thuật ngữ đó. Trong khi đi khám thai thì có thuật ngữ sẽ là cách nói làm cho mẹ bầu cảm thấy bối rối. Điều đó có nghĩa là gì? Điều đó có nghĩa là em bé đang có vấn đề sao? Cũng có không ít mẹ bầu vì giải đáp hết tất cả những thắc mắc của mình và trong thời gian khám thai hạn hẹp nên ở trong quá trình kiểu
nhìn lên màn hình để sách đây nè.
không thấy được
Thì gặp gần lại sao nhìn màn hình? Cái cuối nhìn màn hình.
giải đáp hết tất cả những thắc mắc của mình. Sáng 21 rồi. Trong thời gian khám thai hạn hẹp nên ở trong quá trình hiểu lờ mờ cho đến tận lần khám tiếp theo. Dưới đây là những câu trả lời cho một câu hỏi của mẹ bầu thắc mắc trong khi khám thai. Và chương 4 tháng thứ 4 đến đây là kết thúc. Mọi người sẽ tiếp tục ở video tiếp theo vào tháng thứ 5 thì bụng nhô lên với tiêu đề là bụng nhô lên mẹ đã ra dáng một mẹ bầu, bắt đầu chuẩn bị từng chút một để trở thành mẹ vào những video tiếp theo nha. Bye bye và hẹn gặp lại.